Alright. I have a fear of flying, and it gets worse every year. And when I get up in the air, I start crying. I shed tears. Actually, I shed tears. Anyways, I was in the Paris airport, and I was walking through the airport, and I saw this guy, and he was drunk off his ass, and he had like a bottle of vodka, and he was stumbling to the floor, and there was like 6 security like trying to get him, and I was just looking at him. I was like, I feel sorry for whoever was going to sit next to him. So then I get in my plane, and I sit down, and I'm always excited because I wonder who's going to sit next to me. Like, if it's going to be an attractive girl, are we going to get along? Then I start daydreaming, are we going to get married, have kids, you know, like have a nice house and whatnot. And then, who sits next to me? It's the drunk guy. And I look over, he puts his hand out, and then he's slurring it. And in another language, I found out it was Russian later. He's like, and I'm like, this is going to be a long flight. So I shake his hand. We get up in the air, and he's having like a one-man talk show with me. He's just like, and he's like spitting in my face, slurring, like sweating profusely. He's like, and I'm agreeing with him, with everything he says. I'm like, yeah, because I was scared, you know? So like, yeah, I was just like, okay. And I'm nervous of flying too. I wanted to puke. So then, the stewardess comes with a drink cart. So I'm like, can I have a glass of wine? So I get the wine, and then he looks at the wine. He's like, and then the stewardess is like, sorry, the airport has cut you off. You cannot have any more drinks. And he's like, he just sat there like this. So the stewardess passed, and he looks at me with a smile. He goes into his bag, he pulls out a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he starts swinging it. And I'm looking at her like this. I'm like, oh my God. He drank a quarter of the bottle, and then he looks at me like this, and he offers me some. I'm plastered to the window like this. I'm like, I got my wine. He's like, okay. And then he continues to talk to me. He's like, he's salivating, spitting in my face. I don't care because I'm scared. And then the stewardess comes again. And I'm like, more wine. And he looks. He's like, the stewardess is like, just passes. So he gets the whiskey again. He drinks another quarter. He looks at me and just passes out. And he's salivating. I want to tattletale or anything like that. But I call the stewardess over. I'm like, there's a bottle of Jack Daniels on the floor. And she's like, what? I'm like, there's a bottle of Jack Daniels on the floor. Pick it up. And she's like, oh, okay, thank you. And then an hour later, he wakes up and he's like, and then I'm like, I signal him. I'm like, it went to the back. It went to the back. It went to the back. And then he's just like, and he just sits there for an hour. And then as we descend, everyone's complaining. Everybody saw what was going on. They're like, you should complain. You should get a free flight or something like that. I'm like, nah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. And then as we descend, he looks at me, and this is the only thing he said to me in English. He pulls me in, and he's like, I'm sorry for being me. And then he pulls me away, and then I was just like, at that point, my heart went out to him. I wanted to cry, but his sweat was all over my eyes. I was like, oh, okay, I feel bad. We landed, and I'm in the aisle. Everyone's like, yeah, you should get a free flight. What the hell, what's going on? I'm like, listen, I don't care. It was pure entertainment. And they're like, what do you mean entertainment? You should get a free flight. And I'm like, listen, now I got a story to tell.